Now, when it comes to adaptations, I am not a big fan of people who say, hey, it works in this one medium. Keep it as it is one medium. It is unadaptable. Keep it as it is. You know, it'll ruin everything. It'll ruin it if there's like a movie or a TV show or whatever, right? And I'm a big fan of, hey, people who are never going to play that game, or who are never going to see that stage production, or who are never going to read that book, and never going to read that comic. And that if it was a movie or a TV show, they will watch it. You know that. You know they're going to give it a shot. Now, what I'm saying with that is that you got this absolute universe that is on a Civic A. This thing, right? Which is this brand new universe that DC created a couple of years ago, where they take their characters and make them a little bit different. I always kind of describe it as, if you took something out of the character, is that character still the character? Example, if you took Batman's money away, if he's just a middle class guy, he's friends with most of his villains, Martha's alive, but Thomas is the one who died, and he didn't die in Crime Alley. He died as a teacher at a mass shooting at a zoo. And Joker's the one who's the big giant business tycoon. If you make that happen, is Batman still Batman? And the answer is yes. And same with Wonder Woman, who's the Princess of Hell, or the Goddess of Hell. You got Superman, who is crash lands on Earth as an adult instead of a baby, along with his parents, who are also the Kents. They did the whole what if, the Kents and the Kryptonian parents were the same people, and that kind of stuff. Is Superman still Superman? The answer is yes, right? But what I think it could work, but the answer is, would it be received well? Would it be too different? And in my head, I'm thinking there's a risk for the general public, because we understand we only represent 5% of the movie-going audience, right? So we got a whole 95% of the movie-going audience who knows Batman's which. And if you just here's the absolute Batman and just put it on screen, there's a risk that the general public would be like, this is too different. Is this even Batman anymore? This is not Batman. It's just a guy in a bat suit. I get you, so we call him Batman, but it feels like it's just Batman name only. Batman's witch, and he's like James Bond meets witch. He's just witch James Bond. Like, what's with this whole him being a middle class guy? This is not cool. Alfred's a part of the CIA. He's not the butler. What? Yeah. And Joker's a what? A dragon? What the hell is this dragon thing? Well, he's basically he's kind of like the Hulk. They kind of made Joker the Hulk when he turns into. And Mr. Freeze is like this. Like, is this a horror? Like, there's a whiff of it just being so damn different that the general audience might just bell perform it. Even if you just made it 100%, or like, let's say 99% what is on the page, it might be a situation where the audience is like, this is not that character anymore. It's not who that character is to me. Like, that's the worst about, like, maybe even, like, something like, let's do a live-action Superman Web Sun, which is a story where Superman landed in Washington during the Soviet Union versus in Kansas. Well, people may say, well, Superman is true justice in the American way. He's not a washer. So it's too different. And that's always the risk, right? How much is... And it could be, that's the biggest risk. Now, the only one out of all the titles, and maybe it helps because it's only going to be 12 issues, that is going to probably, maybe more likely get adapted, is absolutely Martian Manhunter. Because I could see that work as like a HBO, weird, wacky HBO show. And it's only 12 issues, and you can cut all the mentions there is to the Absolute Universe. You can just cut all the other stuff out. I know that will annoy people. Like, I don't know, if they adapted, Absolute Wonder Woman, they would cut out Absolute issue number 15, or any mentions to the bigger universe. But out of all of them, I think Absolute Martian Manhunter is more likely going to be adapted because it is different. And also, Martian Manhunter is a character that the comic circle and people who know the DC universe pretty well will know about, but he's not a household name, so it feels like you might be able to do something with it, kind of make it a little bit different, and that. But honestly, I think if there's ever going to be a adaptation of the Absolute Universe, or any of the titles, I honestly think it's going to be animation. It's the way to go, I think. And even if they just like, oh, let's do Batman because Batman's the most popular one, right? And it's like what? It's like 8 million copies, and 3.8 of it is Batman, Absolute Batman. So, of the Absolute Universe. So, if they just did that, and they just cut all the references of the Absolute, they cut all the references of the Absolute, of the other types of the Absolute Universe, and then you don't need to explain the Darkseid stuff. You can just go, boom, here you go. Because I get comics, comic fans like the soap opera aspect of things. Like, if you're gonna have a reboot, you need to explain why the reboot's happening, and then in the context of the story, how is this Absolute Universe born? I kind of wish they just like, here's the Absolute Universe, but anyway, but yeah, I just that's, I think, the biggest hurdle. I think the general audience might want, hey, it's different but different. Versus completely different. And that's the thing. So yeah, comment below, let me know your thoughts. Do you think the Absolute Universe could it work? Maybe it wouldn't work? Anyway, comment below, let me know your thoughts. And maybe if you think, maybe you disagree and think, oh, the general public would accept these versions of these characters. It doesn't matter how cool they are and how, all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know, Wonder Woman holding a massive Final Fantasy sword might be a way to go. But anyway, comment below, let me know your thoughts.